Intuition can lead you to your dreams or your disaster. Yeah, intuition can lead you to your dreams or disaster. And this is through the quality. Intuition is can lead you to your dreams. The quality of your questions will determine the outcome and your intuition. I'm Thuy, your spiritual ninja and muse, and my mission is to bring peace to your head, heart, and home. And I do this mainly through Chinese face reading and space clearing. So let me tell you a funny story. It happened over the weekend, and this is um, something that I'm experimenting with right now as well. So on Saturday, I was at my sacred circle, which is a monthly thing I do with some of my spiritual tribe, and it's led through my shaman Keith. So in this sacred circle, we have several parts to it, and there is a portion with the plant medicine hape, and every time I experience it, I get something different, but it's always something uplifting. In this particular session, I got this vision of two birds, white and red, and they were like kind of sitting on my shoulder. So I was like, huh, I wonder what that means. It's kind of like where they were like my pets. So at lunchtime break, we I look up the meaning of birds, also uh, how to have a pet bird, because I've never had a pet bird before. I'm like, well, why would my vision kind of have this? So then I find this post on Craigslist of these two birds for sale with the cage and all that uh, ready. And the person is starting like a new journey. And so they need to get rid of the birds as soon as possible. So I'm like, that's interesting. And then I explore it some more. I contact the seller. And then during dinner with my shaman Keith, we're just humaning. And I tell him how I want to travel to Turkey and Egypt. And then I get a response from the seller of the birds saying that he's Turkish. And so he has a hard time understanding. It takes him a while to respond because he has to interpret it. And I was like, we just talked about Turkey. And here it is. He says he's from Turkey. And I asked what if I needed to have these birds. And then as I inquire more, I look at all these signs that show up. I'm like, it's meant to be that I'm supposed to have these birds. Oh my gosh, I need to have these birds. And I validated why I should have these birds. And I was obsessive about it. I was so obsessive about it for like 2 days. Sunday, yesterday, the 11th, is also a new beginnings day, and it's kind of ending the big portal with the Lion's Gate. And so I was like, I need to make a decision. And I was so obsessive. It was like crazy, driving me nuts. Anything I was doing, it would come back to this thought about these birds, and I had to contact this person because I wanted to see them. And I was like, huh, like I need to make a decision. I need to know. I need to meet these birds to see what's in alignment. How would my intuition tell me this? Going like all swirly inside. And every time I did, I recognized it. I would hone in, try to get into my stillness. I also validated it because like the theme of birds have been coming up for me lately. I tell the story of Shen in representation to the bird in my tea ceremonies that I recently just started doing. And the image is like this bird flying away, and that's representation of your Shen. And in the time of chaos, of course, the bird's going to fly away. But then in stillness and peace and calmness, the bird comes back. I'm like, maybe I need to have these birds to help my Shen come back, to help me be better with my tea ceremonies. Maybe that it'll, and then like I get this whole text about how the birds talk. And then I look up the type of bird that it is. It's like the bogies or something like that. It's an Australian parrot. And so they do speak and people like them because they are easy maintenance and all that. So I totally like validated some more. I'm like, oh, it's syncing up. It's syncing up. Failing though to ask better questions. So then I was like, oh, I can be so emotional. I need to like get grounded. I need to talk to people who have had birds and their experience with it. So then I call my brother Tan, and then I ask him, uh, like what was it like when he had a kid, when he was a kid and he had the pets? Because I remember it sitting on his shoulders and on his finger, and so that's kind of what I envisioned for Bella and like how she would have one and I would have one, and then our birds would talk to us, but these birds would be easy; they wouldn't poop on us. This is what's going on in my head, you guys. So then I call Bella's dad because he's kind of a wet blanket. Yeah, he's kind of a wet blanket where, but he does give me some good perspective and the negative things that I don't think about because I get so excited and I just go with it. Sometimes that serves me, sometimes it's not. And then he does help me with a check on it, even though sometimes I don't like it. And he knows a lot about animals. He's had almost like every single kind of pet possible. And so I had to ask him about the bird, and he's like, well, they're more work than you think it is. I had them once, and that's after that experience, I never wanted to do it again. They kind of stink the shit everywhere. You got to clean them a lot. If you're going to be that interactive with it, you might as well get a dog. And then I was like, no, that's so much more work. And he's like, Bella wouldn't be able to really handle it because they don't like to be handled that much. They're kind of finicky. So I was like, okay, I will ask better questions when I get to see these birds. And then I scheduled to see the birds like in a couple of hours. And so I wrote down like the questions and then I checked in with my intuition with, are these birds what I need to help me with my actualization goals of prosperity and peace? So then afterwards, when I met the birds, I found out the birds really don't like to come out. They don't come out at all. They don't sit on your shoulder. They don't do much. They're just pretty. And they didn't even talk when I was there. And Bella was there with me and she wasn't too crazy about it either. But I had to know, I had to go there. And then I was like, no, it would just be another thing that I am gonna have to have in my that will take up space and consume part of my energy. And um yeah, that I would have to feed. So I've made a decision not to go with it. And as I sit and write about it today, it's like, yeah, I didn't ask better questions so that my intuition can tell me. Because intuition is actually the quickest point from A to B and it takes out the emotions. Yeah, it takes out the emotions and it just does what you need to get to the goal that you want. And that's through your questions. So then I wrote down some more of what this all meant and what I was supposed to learn. And this is part of my pattern where when I feel constricted because I can't buy, because I can't do something, it's almost like a sabotage, but it's me distracting from doing what I really need to do to move me forward because of resistance or fear, and then not really get to the root of the problem. And one of the things I am trying to do right now, or my goals, is um, for more financial stability um, and creating this new lifestyle of like simplicity and beauty and flow. um, so I realize how I've done this through a lot of my life. And I love that energy though, because it's like the fire energy. And it's kind of like an addiction as well, because a drug or like the dopamine hit, but then when you come crashing down, you still have to face reality. And, and so that really helped me with learning another part of my money story, how I can distract myself from the goal and to really, I do have great intuition and I have made really great decisions most of my life. And when I don't, it's because I don't check in with that. And then I look for the wrong validations and synchronicities because I want that to work. And so I look for that synchronicity and I program my brain for that. And so right now, whatever it is that you are trying to actualize into your life, use your intuition, but ask better questions. Notice the synchronicities and then notice where you feel off or whatever to ask for more questions and ask people who have done it to get you perspective and then just choose better and choose better. And then if you make a mistake, laugh about it because the universe is the ultimate teacher and joker in teaching you your lessons. So I hope that this funny story, and you can totally laugh at me. Please do laugh with me because that helps calm your nervous system. It helps you move forward and do life with more zest and ease, flow, no regrets, and living in your element and just learning. Everything's an experience, okay? But tap into your dreams, know your dreams, feel into your dreams and how that's going to feel like, and then pick the better questions. Some questions that might be really helpful for you is, what is the question I most need to ask today to achieve whatever it is that you want? Or what's the question I most need to ask today? Just keeping it simple if you don't know yet. But if you want to be more specific, because then intuition will hone in that and then it will target it. And so you get better results and your answers. What is the question I most need to ask today? And then when your answers show up, listen to it, write it down, right? And then ask, how will this help me? Why must I do this? When will I do this? And then the last one is, who can help me? Who can help me? Because it's never about you. The answers always through other people, experience and whatnot. Okay, but mostly it's through people because they'll connect you to somebody, they'll connect you to an idea, it's just somehow or another. It's always the who that gets you there. So totally laugh. And this is my mindful moment um, to shift you back to neutral, to give yourself more grace and give yourself more courage to take the next step. The road of 1,000 miles starts with one small step, and then just recalibrate often, recalibrate, reevaluate. So may this help you have more peace. May you be free, may you have peace, and may you have grace and courage. And yeah, you can share this so other people can laugh too and forgive themselves for their actions and just know we're all just figuring it out. But I hope that you figure it out with your elements and in your way.